You don't notice it the day you get the raise. That day feels different, not in a loud, life-changing way, but in a quiet, almost reassuring way. You check your bank account, and for the first time in a while, you feel a little ahead. Maybe you open a calculator. Maybe you start thinking about what's finally possible now. A slightly better apartment, a newer car, more convenience, less stress. And in that moment, it feels like progress, like things are finally starting to work in your favor. But then something strange happens. Not immediately, not in a way that alarms you, just slowly, over time. Your spending adjusts, your habits shift, your normal changes. And a few months later, you're sitting there looking at your account again, and that same question shows up quietly in your mind. I'm making more money now, so why does it still feel like nothing has changed? No big mistake, no reckless spending, no obvious problem. And yet, the raise is gone. Not wasted, just absorbed. And that right there is one of the most common financial experiences people have, but almost never talk about. Because the thing that took your raise doesn't look like a problem. It feels like progress. Most people believe financial stress comes from one simple issue: not earning enough. And at first glance, that belief makes sense. If you don't have enough income to cover your basic needs, of course things feel tight. So naturally, the solution becomes earn more. And for a while, that works. You get a raise and things feel easier. You have more breathing room. You feel less pressure. But here's where things start to shift in a way most people don't expect. Because over time, that extra income doesn't create lasting relief. It just creates a new version of normal. And suddenly, you're back where you started, still managing, still adjusting, still wondering where your money is going. This is the part that confuses people, because logically, it doesn't add up. If more income is coming in, why doesn't it feel like progress? The answer is uncomfortable, but important. Because earning more money and keeping more money are two completely different skills. One is external. It's about effort, opportunity, and growth. The other is internal. It's about behavior, awareness, and control. And most of us were only ever trained in the first one. We learned how to work harder, how to improve our skills, how to increase our value in the market. But no one really taught us what happens after the raise. No one explained how our behavior changes when our income increases. So when it does, we don't stay the same. Our lifestyle quietly rises to meet it. And that's where the real shift happens. Let's slow this down and look at it honestly. Think back to a time when you were earning less. Your life probably looked simpler. Not necessarily worse, just different. You were more selective. You thought twice before spending. Certain things felt like treats, not expectations. Going out to eat regularly? That was occasional. Upgrading your phone frequently? That felt unnecessary. Paying for convenience? That required a decision. Your lifestyle had boundaries. Now, fast forward to today. Some of those same things don't even feel like decisions anymore. They feel automatic, routine, normal. And that shift, that quiet redefinition of what feels normal, is where your money starts disappearing. This is what people often call lifestyle inflation. But that phrase doesn't fully capture what's happening, because this isn't just about spending more. It's about needing more just to feel the same. And that's the part most people never notice, because it doesn't feel like loss. It feels like improvement. You're upgrading your life, making things easier, more comfortable, more enjoyable. And again, none of that is wrong. The problem isn't the upgrades. The problem is how quietly they become permanent. Every upgrade adds a small layer to your lifestyle. And once it's there, it doesn't feel optional anymore. It feels necessary. Now your life doesn't just cost what it used to. It costs more every single month just to maintain. And maintenance is where the real pressure builds, because maintenance doesn't feel like growth. It feels like obligation. You're no longer working to improve your life. You're working to sustain it. And over time, that creates a very specific kind of stress. Not the stress of not having enough, but the stress of not wanting to fall behind your own life, Let's make this even more real. Imagine someone gets a raise, not a massive one, but enough to feel comfortable. So naturally, they make a few adjustments. They move into a slightly nicer place. They start ordering food more often. They upgrade their car. They add a few monthly subscriptions. Nothing extreme, nothing irresponsible, just small, reasonable improvements. But now, their fixed monthly expenses are higher. Their expectations are higher. Their normal is higher. So even though they're earning more, they're also required to spend more. And the gap between income and expenses stays almost exactly the same. That gap is everything, because that gap is what gives you breathing room. It's what allows you to save, to invest, to take risks, to step back when you need to. And when that gap disappears, so does your flexibility. And flexibility is what actually creates freedom.
There's a deeper reason this happens. Your brain isn't designed to maximize financial efficiency. It's designed to maximize comfort, and comfort adapts quickly. What feels like a luxury today feels normal tomorrow, and expected the day after that. This process is so subtle, you don't even realize it's happening. You just feel like you're maintaining a reasonable standard of living, but that standard keeps rising. And because it rises gradually, you never question it, you just accept it. And this creates a loop. You earn more, you upgrade your lifestyle, your expectations adjust, your satisfaction resets, and now you need more just to feel the same level of comfort again. This is why more money doesn't always lead to more pace, because if your expectations grow at the same rate as your income, you stay in the same emotional place, just at a higher level. And over time, this can actually create more pressure, because now your life depends on maintaining that level. Your job isn't just a source of income anymore, it's a requirement. Not because your needs increased dramatically, but because your expectations did. So here's the shift, and it's simple, but not easy. Financial stability doesn't come from how much you earn. It comes from the gap between what you earn and what your life requires. That gap is everything. It's your safety, your flexibility, your peace of mind. It's what allows you to breathe, to make decisions without panic, to handle uncertainty without feeling overwhelmed. But lifestyle inflation quietly closes that gap. It expands your lifestyle until your income and your expenses are running side by side. And when that happens, you can be earning more than ever and still feel stuck, still feel behind, still feel like you can't slow down. But the moment you see this pattern, you gain something powerful, awareness. And awareness changes how you make decisions. Because now, you're not just asking, can I afford this? You're asking, do I want my life to require this? And that's a completely different question. At the end of the day, this isn't about cutting back. It's not about becoming overly disciplined. It's not about turning your life into a rigid system. It's about seeing clearly. Because once you see the pattern, you stop blaming yourself. You stop wondering where your money went. You stop feeling like you're doing something wrong. And instead, you start making quieter, more intentional decisions. Not perfect ones, just more aware ones. Because real financial progress isn't about constantly increasing your income. It's about creating a life that doesn't require constant increase. A life that feels stable, flexible, sustainable. And maybe the goal isn't to keep chasing more, but to finally feel like what you have is enough to move forward, without pressure, without anxiety, just with clarity. If this made you pause for even a moment, that means something clicked. And that's exactly what we do here on Wealth Vault. No hype, no noise, just honest conversations about money and how it actually works. So, if you're into that, drop a like, and in the comments, tell me one thing you know you spend on without thinking. I read every single one. I'm Mike, and I'll see you in the next one.